That's the science. And we buy this myth that they have all these big plans kept in a vault somewhere. These people are making it up as they go along. They don't know what they're doing. That's what it is all about. They make it up as they go along. And we think that it must be because they have the science of it. They don't have the science of it. Myth number 6. They're powerful and we are not. It's a big, big myth. But we buy into it, don't we? We buy into the view that white people are powerful. What we ought to say is, many of them have power. That doesn't make them powerful. They have power. But to suggest that we are not is again to internalize the myth. But the final one is the one that really is the gut-wrenching myth of them all. White people. White people. And I want to concentrate on this for a minute because it is vital to our struggle. The white community, such as we define it, is going through psychological trauma right now. And they're going through a trauma because of things that even they don't understand. But principally, it has to do with a covenant. A covenant that has been erected for white people. And that covenant was to guarantee them always, automatically, skin privileges. But there's a problem. Even from the beginning, and this is what we need to appreciate, they didn't agree on who was white. They always agreed on who was black. Thomas Jefferson wrote a very complicated formula, a mathematical formula to address that question of when you're black. But they have never agreed among themselves as to who is white in America, nor who is white in the world. And you want to talk about fragmentation and lack of organization? We have never looked at that. And we have never inspected that. That is part, if there's fear, that's where it is, that we'll find out that they don't even know who is white. Even in America, you look at Supreme Court cases in which the courts, the highest court of the country, at different points in U.S. history, had to determine by law, not by science, maybe by pseudoscience, but had to determine by law who was white. And at certain points in our society, you'd be amazed to know that Arabs were white. Asians at one point were white, and then they decided, nah, we cancel their whiteness. We kicked them out of the white club. Anybody with a Spanish surname, you could be blacker than 5 past midnight, you were white. So this country has gone through enormous catharsis meant white, male, Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Those were the true white people. Those were the ones who stole this country initially. And therefore, being in charge, they naturally believed that their progeny ought to be in charge. But it didn't multiply fast enough. So their circle, and if they did multiply, they're like the British royalty, you know, this inbreeding produces genetically inferior material. So they had to limit their intercourse with each other. So they find out soon enough that the numbers are unparalleled. They need to admit more people to the whiteness club. So they look around. What did they see? Well, the Irish at that time were the niggers of New Europe. And they were living in the same place the black slaves were living because they too were slaves. Many of them had even intermarried and producing mixed race children. Well, do we admit them or no? We don't know. Well, okay. If they look like a particular kind of Irish, we let them in. And so the Irish became white. By law. Not by social custom, but by law. They said, okay, we'll admit the Irish to whiteness. We give them white status. The Italians. The Italians, many of whom look like many of us here. You know, Hannibal and didn't get across the Alps. The Italians used to be lynched in this country as niggers, quote unquote. There are many instances of lynchings of Irish and Italians because they were considered scum, undesirable elements, deserving of no mercy. But then they became white. They were allowed by law to be white. And I'm using these examples to tell you that there is no science. It is a matter of interest. These people don't have a clue what they're doing. If you're white, you're supposed to be white. But you can see even in the history of the United States, confusion among the so-called white people as to who is white. Jews only recently were admitted to whiteness. Only recently. Their admission to whiteness was very, very recent. And to this day, there are many clubs that they are denied membership in. Many professions that they may not practice. It was only recently that they were allowed to enter the banking industry. Officially on Wall Street. They didn't want to have Jews on Wall Street. City College right up the street was created to accommodate the children of the poor white Europeans who were recently, they were trying to get them up to the level of whiteness. But they were not permitted in the city university system. They were not. So we have this view that white people have this understanding that their skin color is what holds them together. It doesn't. They're very clear about that. It is we who are unclear. We talk about white people as if there's this monolithic group out there. Among themselves, they do not agree on that. And even within certain groups. The Lubavitch regularly beat up the Satmar. The Satmar fighting with the Belz Hasidim and the Bovovich and the Belarusians. Neapolitan Italians, and they don't like the Romans. And some of the best Italian restaurants in New York are run by Albanians. And that's something they never tell you. You know that whole thing about the ethnic Albanians? They are treated like dirt. They're not considered white. They invented this term, ethnic Albanians, to say, these are the niggers. And that whole war that Russia is conducting against Chechnya and the Serbs and the Bosnians, that's all about cleansing the niggers out among them. They don't want these people. You want to know about ruthlessness by whites? So it's not about white privilege, it's about confusion. And they are having major wars among themselves. Which brings me to New York City. Keep in mind, in the context of our political times, the mayor of the city of New York, the police commissioner of the city of New York, the governor of the state of New York, are all members of races that recently were admitted to whiteness. And I want to tell you what that means for us. Rudolph Giuliani, the son of immigrants, as he likes to say, like Mario Cuomo, who insisted there's no mafia. Rudy insists there's a mafia, and he will personally clean it up. But he, having just been admitted to whiteness, has a pledge of faith to keep with a system that bestowed this great privilege upon him. And all that he's doing is to prove his fidelity, to give them thanks for bestowing whiteness on him. He is one generation away from being a nigger. I want this understood. One generation away. And so he has a special zeal to prove to this power structure, those whites, a selected group of whites within the white world that does have power, that they selectively bestow on others. He was chosen because he did his work.
Good dog.
Early on in the Reagan administration, to prove that he could be trusted with whiteness. He could be trusted to be a faithful member of the Whiteness Club. And that requires him to be absolutely merciless with people of color. That's why he got elected. He understood from day one that it was required of him to prove his credentials. And that's something we miss entirely, that he is only recently admitted, and still it's tenuous. They could yank it away from him any time. So he is on guard with the real white people. He's on probation. He's a probationary white. inherited in our community are his way of proving his credentials, proving that they have made a correct choice in selecting him for membership in the Whiteness Club. Howard Safer, one generation away. You see how you have to look at this? One generation away. Do you see how he looks? Do you see how much pain he goes through to cleanse himself of Jewishness? Do you see how he presents himself as a corporate type? There is nothing about him that says, I'm a Jew. He's mixing with the glitterati and the moneyed crowd, and he's wearing a particular kind of suit. Gives you the impression he doesn't like to get his hands dirty. And his hair, even his facial features, as Julian, you notice he's looking or attempting to look very un-Italian. I'm very serious. If you look at the morphology of his body, it's actually gone through a change. He's become leaner and more angular, more thin-lipped, if that's possible. And he's wearing those little round glasses to make him look like an Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Any day now, he may sport a bow tie and a tweed jacket. But his whole effort, his behavior and deportment are saying he wishes not to be too Italian. He wants some distance with that. That's why he's so relentless against the mob. They're embarrassing Italians. I'm not one of them. Safer, I'm not a Jew. Really. I am Jewish. But he was only recently admitted, you see, to the Club of Whiteness. The governor, Hungarian, one generation away. One generation away. His people 10 years ago were nothing. They still, how many Hungarians do you know who are in charge of anything? And the way he came through the ranks was to make sure that that was never an issue. He's not Hungarian, really. He's American. He wants, and he has been accepted, but again, he's dealing with real American people now. He's courting favor with G.W. Bush. They are real Americans, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. And he has to prove his credentials. So this is the milieu that we are operating in. We give these people a lot of credit. And we think they're all so powerful. They're dealing with some serious psychological problems. But where they absolutely agree is that this club of whiteness, the particular club of whiteness to which they all want to belong, because they understand that that's where the power rests. Inasmuch as they were lucky to get membership in it, they have to fulfill its mandate. And the mandate is relentless attacks on people of color. And the more desperate they are to prove their credentials, the more relentless they are. And that's what we see in the city of New York. Of course, it does have to do with a maladjusted man, mentally maladjusted person. But I'm saying we have to understand the psychology of it. The psychology of it is that this man is desperate for membership in the club of whiteness, in the way America defines whiteness, which is not at all scientific, it is quite arbitrary. And this means that he's doing what he has to do. And this is why we have to do what we have to do. And what we have to do is to get away from these myths, because they're dangerous and self-defeating. And what we have to do is to shore each other up psychologically, to make sure that our community in struggle presents an entirely different face. We need to see the men out there. We need, as women, to support the men out there. We need to give them every bit of encouragement possible to take on the role of undoing the psychological and pathological damage that already has been done, which is to relegate men to the periphery. We need to encourage men to be at the center, at the core of consistent, not sporadic, but consistent struggle. And we don't need the psychology of division and subtraction. Where we ought to get together is an understanding that this is a struggle as much for the psychology of it as it is for anything else. The psychology of struggle is very important. And that is why we have to see men resume a role in our community as the people who formulate and enforce rules that we all agree to abide by. That we shore up their ability to counsel people and tell them, no, that's unacceptable behavior. We're not going to have that. We are not going to have noise, indiscriminate noise, 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. You will be home, and I will be checking your homework. I am going to show up at your school. I want to know what's going on in your life. And we need the men to understand that women and children, the community, the safety of the community rests in your hands. It's not that women can't do it. It is that we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do it. The men have to step forward and take up their role, which has been their historic role. Because the system organizes to denature us, doesn't mean that we have to make it so. This is a psychological battle. And a psychological battle is long-term. The way you commit acts of genocide is first you subtract and divide. You whittle away at your enemy, and you have them by remote whittle away at themselves. So we caught up in the, well, I'm a Marxist, okay, well, I'm a Democrat, well, I'm agnostic myself, oh, I'm a Muslim, and I'm from the South, well, I'm from New York City, I speak 8 languages, well, I just speak my little Ebonics myself, and we have all of this going on, as if this matters at all. It is not even an issue. They are having problems. And when they agreed with the Club of Whiteness that we should be oppressed on the basis of race, the Club of Whiteness oppressed them on the basis of class. And that's what's going on in white America. They can't believe that this system privileges in the society. They are now scuffling to make a living. They gotta come back to Harlem. They're living across the street from basketball players. I read a statistic the other day, 3 historically black colleges, predominantly white populations in them, and they're getting equal opportunity scholarships. But they do go home at night. They're not staying on campus. White America, as we think of it as a monolith, is not true. And that white America is going through a whole redefinition of its identity. And it can't cope with the reality that is staring them in the face. The system has said to many white people who agree that we should be done in because we're black, the system has been saying to many of them, you're black too. They are the new niggers of society, and they don't like it. They are paying more and more in taxes. You saw what happened in Nassau County the other day. They come in for your brownstones here in Harlem, I'm telling you. They can't afford to live after the white flight. They cannot deal with the classism now. There's a class structure within the white community. And you hear them, you heard somebody on the program today talking about the class system, attacking the class system, but clearly cognizant of the fact that within the white community, we have several substrates. And they now have to get a whole new reading as to where they belong. And now they're talking the way we used to talk. They want white power. Because they're powerless. They don't like the government either. The government is the enemy. They're bothered about public education. They used to send their kids to private school. They are worried about the things we are worried about. And isn't it odd that black folks who are revolutionary people at this time in American history have so much in common with the far-right militia people? They talk about the same thing. But the militia people are still operating from a point of view that they have the power to confront government with arms. They're blowing up buildings in Oklahoma. And little kids are getting rifles and picking off their classmates. Because something has informed them that the old formula is not working the way it used to, or the way it's supposed to. And they are falling through the cracks. And they are feeling it. It used to be the average secretary from Flatbush could get on a plane and go to Barbuda and lay out in the sun and come back with a tan. They can't do that anymore. The average construction worker could buy a boat and go fishing and take the family and hunt bear and all that stuff. They can't do that. They are hurting in this country. And their consciousness, because they've been conditioned to understand that being white, they are not supposed to hurt. This system is supposed to take care of them. Because they signed on to the whole idea of the club of whiteness, that race was why we were being done in. Now they're being done in on the basis of class. I want to leave you with this idea that we formulate, as part of our response to the political times that we are living in, a consciousness that our response has to be holistic and organic. By holistic, I mean everybody has a role to play, a specific role to play. And I don't buy this business about feminism and all this other kind of stuff. I'm saying that we know historically black women have been strong, but black men have been strong. And we need to work together, but in different capacities and in different functions, to make sure